As we move along here on this Strikeforce evening live on HDNet, Vitale against Trigg. Trigg coming in, ranked number 10 in the world. Let's officially meet these talented middleweights.
Bout is the super fight of the night, featuring Falaniko Vitale and Frank Twinkletoes Trigg.
It's Falaniko Vitale, and my style is freestyle. I want to knock Trigg out. You know, if he's not going to take me down, got nothing to lose. You know, I got everything to gain in this fight. I'm looking for first or second round. You know, I'm ready to go 3 rounds, so it doesn't matter.
Now making his way to the blue corner, Falaniko Vitale.
Here comes Vitale. He has won 5 of his last 6 fights coming into this. You see a virtual who's who, those he has tangled with successfully and unsuccessfully, including Trevor Prangley winning last year in the first round. Now, as far as Nico coming into this, and Matt, you were speaking with him earlier tonight back in the dressing room. He talked about being out here early enough to get used to this altitude. What else did he have to say?
Well, you know, he did come out here 2 weeks prior to the fight. He says he's in great condition and he's ready for this fight. Nico spent a lot of time with me training out in Seattle, not prior to this fight, but prior to his Icon fights. And he's a very gifted athlete. He looked serious for this fight. When I talked to him, he seemed serious, seemed like he was ready. But his downfall in the past has been a lack of conditioning going into the 3rd round. Prior to that, he's got heavy hands. He's done, flying Superman style right hand knockouts, and he's got submission wins on the ground, quite a few of them. So, if Nico can use his athleticism, his size, and his power, and just keep Trigg at bay, he's going to have a good time with this fight.
So Vitale in the ring and awaiting Frank Twinkletoes Trigg, who's been a busy fighter as of late.
Frank Trigg, and my fighting style is wrestling. Nico Vitale's been around for a long time. He's got one-punch, knockout, jaw-breaking power. When the fight goes to the ground, it's underneath my power. We put it where I want it to go, but I would love to finish the fight early in the 1st round with a quick couple of strikes and get it out of the way, son, go home.
Now making his way to the red corner, Frank Twinkletoes Trigg.
Out of Las Vegas, fighting for the first time in Denver. Frank Trigg, you see the numbers on him. 8 of those wins coming by way of knockout. This from the former great wrestler at Oklahoma University. We heard him tell Ron Kruk at the start of our show tonight he felt he could do this in the 1st round. He reiterated that every time you've talked to him this week. I think I can get this done in the 1st round. I want to get this done in the 1st round. And he must be confident, otherwise I don't know if he would have taken this fight just 40 days since he was over in Japan fighting, as we look here at the tail of the tape. Which I think tells you this: both guys have a lot of experience. They're pretty much the same kind of body build and right about the same age. Frank Trigg, though, according to Nick Kalikas, who sets the odds for us here at HDNet Fights from BetOnFighting.com, has made Frank a sizable favorite coming in here and almost 3-1.
Yeah, that can be a little misleading because early on in the fight I would give Nico the advantage, but later in the fight I would give Trigg the advantage. However, Nico did come out here for a few weeks, get ready for the altitude, where Trigg has only been out here for 5 days. And we'll see how that plays out with Trigg's cardio.
It is the super fight, Vitale against Trigg. Let's go back to Keith in the ring for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for tonight's super fight. This bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing first the fighter in the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in tonight at 185 pounds, representing 808 Fight Factory and fighting out of Honolulu, Hawaii. Please welcome Falaniko Vitale. And his opponent in the red corner. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in tonight at 184 pounds, representing Extreme Couture and fighting out of Rochester, New York. Please welcome Frank Twinkle Toes Trigg.
All right, gentlemen, you guys are both veterans. You know the rules. Watch the strikes to the back of the head, no forearms on the ground. Any questions? Any questions? Touch gloves, come out fighting.
Here we go. I believe that's some new ink on Frank's back.
That's definitely new ink. I haven't seen that before.
Maybe celebrating, he and his wife Nikki, the birth of son Stone. Just a few weeks ago, he was on Inside MMA.
Yeah,
making his debut, Stone was.
With the name Stone Trigg, he's either got to be a fighter or an actor.
And round 1 underway.
It should be noted that Falaniko could possibly never make 170, whereas Trigg used to fight a lot of his top competitions at 170.
Trigg's a southpaw. Now, what that does is that if Nico stays outside of the lead leg here, that puts Trigg in front of Nico's big right hand. But if Trigg stays outside the leg, it puts Nico in front of Trigg's big left hand. There you see Trigg with a little pressure. That looked like, yeah, it was a low
yes,
knee.
Once again, the inadvertent low blow. Easy to say when you're sitting here cage side, isn't it? Or you're the deliverer of it. The receiver probably has other ways of describing it.
This is part of the sport, though.
Trigg and I have spent a lot of time. Oh, there's the knee. Yeah, that was definitely low. You see the pressure, though. Trigg's getting in there and pressuring him back to the cage, trying to back him up. And that's a good game plan for Trigg. Trigg and I have spent a lot of time in Japan when Trigg worked for Pride, when we both worked for Pride, working out together over there. And the one thing I can tell you is that the guy has that wrestling grit and determination. He can go and go and go and push the fight and wear the opponent down. And if he can continue to do that to Nico, then he can get this fight where he wants it.
That really comes from a wrestling background, being a bruiser, especially in Oklahoma. And so that's the best way of for him actually to win this fight. And I think he knows that. So you're going to see him cover the distance, really step in with big punches, and probably look to get to the clinch and pin him against the fence.
Meanwhile, Nico's ready to exchange with Trigg. Trigg puts him back against the fence and now tries to load up with the forearm. And look at Trigg going to work. There's the strikes he wants to deliver.
There's that pressure that we're talking about. He just keeps coming forward, pressing the action, not taking it down, but not giving Nico room to work.
And Vitale trying to get away and now regrouping a bit along the fence.
It's like Trigg really doesn't want to take the fight down right now.
A lot of those strikes weren't really doing a whole lot of damage, but it just doesn't look good to the judges.
Yeah, and it wears Nico down, even though it's not really damaging him.
Nico
The pressure wears Nico
there.
down. Yeah.
You think?
I think so. Now, a fast start like that, though, if Trigg is not used to this altitude here, that can affect him. We'll see what happens here. He's slowed it down now, getting his air back. We'll see if he gets back to putting some pressure on him. He's controlling that hand there. Nico can't really get off there. Oh, nice trip. Nico was waiting for that knee. It was good timing. He hit that knee sweep when Trigg threw the knee.
Beautiful foot sweep right into the side. It should have dropped down and finished in the side control. I think he was surprised that it went so easy.
Yeah.
But like we were saying before, like I was saying earlier, is that Nico's a phenomenal athlete. Super fast, good footwork. I'm really surprised that we haven't seen him use his footwork more at the beginning of this fight.
Yeah, absolutely. absolutely. But Trigg's pressure was a little bit more, I think, than Nico anticipated.
True.
Now he's used to it, and we'll see what happens.
Well, Trigg's also slowing down, looks like.
Trigg's slowing down. Nico's a little flat-footed himself right now, though.
There's a lot of pressure on both these guys for this fight. This is a huge fight.
It is. It is. You see Nico really reacting to the kick there, dropping his hands even when the kick comes in, and covering up like that. Good body shot there by Nico. He slipped and went to the body with the right uppercut.
Vitale has landed only 4 strikes so far. Now that was a good body shot, but Trigg is 30-4 ahead on strikes landed.
Yeah,
we're not claiming all of them are power strikes, but he's landed that many compared to Vitale.
Well, he landed a good counter shot right there too, a good lead right counter shot, and prior to that he landed a good knee to the head.
Nico's just waiting for him to get off, which I don't think is smart right now in the beginning of this fight. He needs to be circling and making Trigg really put pressure, but do something, make a mistake.
You can see Nico thinking on the cage there. When he had time to think and Trigg repeated what he was doing with the knees, Nico was able to sweep him. But when Trigg's keeping up the pressure, Nico can't think that fast.
This sport, though, it has to be something, though, you train hard enough to where it just comes naturally.
It should be reaction.
It should be reaction. And Nico's a good enough athlete to know that.
Little attempt at a takedown there by Trigg, but Nico countered.
Do you think Vitale might be a little surprised, even though Trigg talked about trying to end it early, that Frank has kept his game plan of standing up and trying to deliver strikes?
No, I think Trigg, not normally, every time he fights a top-notch guy, he really tries to bring the pressure. I've never seen him shy away from a top competition, so this is no surprise, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think it's a surprise that Trigg's standing with him to Nico, but until you're faced with that type of pressure, if nobody's put it on you in training, it's a surprise to feel that in the fight.
Vitale's not been able to get on his game, does have the one takedown here, but it's been Trigg dictating the pace.
People don't seem to understand how good of an athlete he is. If Frank, no matter how well of a wrestler he is, he needs to really set up his shots and his takedowns. Yeah. So Nico's such an athlete, it's going to be hard for him to get him down regardless.
This is a good combination there by Trigg. Nico holding the leg up so that Trigg can't get the knees off in the clinch.
He's got to be careful, though, he doesn't get foot swept as well.
He can, that can work against him, or he can just pick up the single there.
Well, you guys have talked about it. It does appear that Vitale's really having a whole lot of time to think here in this first round instead of react. The round that Frank Trigg has continued with the pressure.
You see the wrist control there by Trigg.
As round 2 gets underway, 28 punches, 13 kicks landed by Trigg in round 1.
Nico looks like he's looking to get off now in this round. Looks like he got maybe a little bit of a chewing from his corner. He's looking to set the pace.
He came out a little better. He's throwing that left hook over the top, trying to set up the right hand.
It could have possibly been a game plan to see. I mean, Nico knew that he came out a couple weeks early and that Trigg didn't. So, maybe you want to see how Trigg would react in the second and third round.
That's possible. I think he just had trouble figuring out that pressure at Trigg, though.
I'd have to agree with you.
Trigg, you're talking about his weight earlier about Trigg. He's 4-1 since going to middleweight.
What I'm saying is he has fought a lot of top competition at 170. He's, I wouldn't say he's a huge 85-pounder.
And Nico is.
No, and Nico's a pretty big 85-pounder.
This is a lot of work for Trigg to get up there. A little opposite from most guys. Let's check in now with Ron. Ron, what's going on?
He said he's going to keep this fight standing up, and he's executing that game plan right now.
Yeah, we just want to keep it standing, moving his head, and throwing his shots. I want him off the cage right now, though.
This was a quick turnaround for him, only 5 weeks. Will the altitude come into play later in the fight?
No, a lot of that's mental. He's in great physical condition. He can do this all day. Plus, we got a lot of studs at Extreme Couture. We go really hard, so he's fine.
What did you tell him in between rounds?
That he needs to move his head, and I want him to set up his shot. If he's going to take him down, set it up off punches.
Thanks, Ron. Kenny, back to you.
All right, thanks, Ron.
Cornerman Ron Frazier there actually grew up around Bill Cosby. His mother was Bill Cosby's housekeeper, so Or maybe he'll motivate him with a Jello pudding pop when he comes back to the corner.
Low blow.
You were waiting for that, weren't you? You were waiting for that.
Nico lands a good left hook.
And a nice jab by Trigg. And I think that is our first. Oh, good knee. Good knee by Trigg.
Nico's wants to cover up and then explode out of that, but Trigg's not really cooperating with that. He's keeping the pressure on. What Nico's doing is covering up and waiting for Trigg to stop so he can throw. But Trigg's just keeping the pressure on. He's not really stopping.
I was really expecting Nico to use his footwork more to make Trigg miss.
Yeah, there was that body shot again. Yeah, I'm surprised that Nico's standing flat-footed here.
And right in front of him. That's the worst place you want to stand in front of a wrestler.
Absolutely. He would have done a lot better had he got the footwork going on in this fight.
Trigg has landed 19 strikes compared to 6 for Vitale in this round. And Trigg once again dictates it.
Yeah, Trigg's the busier fighter. He's not necessarily more effective causing damage, but in these 10-point rounds, he's busier, so he's winning these rounds.
By the way, we've set a record tonight, Matt. The first Bill Cosby reference ever in an MMA event. We're pretty sure of that.
Well, Ron Frazier's in a lot of corners. He's got a lot of fighters at Extreme Couture, so I was the first.
A lot of top fighters.
I'm sure we're going to hear him again.
It's like going to a who's who, isn't it, when you go to Extreme Couture. Hey, look over here who's training. Look over here's who's training. Of course, Randy's training a lot right now for his big fight next month.
Absolutely.
I want to wish him luck on that as well.
What if Lesnar's watching? You want to wish him luck as well?
Hey, I'm good friends with Randy, and I think he's a phenomenal athlete. You always got to win one for the gifter.
Oh, now Vitale trying to open a little space and get some punches going.
Frank tried to trip there, but he got pushed out of the distance. Nico's actually looking up at the monitor there to
probably
see
checking
what to
the
do.
time.
Yeah.
He could be possibly checking the time.
Yeah, we've caught ourselves doing that being on TV, haven't we? Vitale is only listed about 1.5 inches taller than Trigg, but that's on paper. In the cage, he looks quite a bit taller than Trigg.
He does.
I lie when I go to the doctors too, not the time.
And the reach advantage you figure would favor Vitale, but Trigg has never let him get into that kind of game.
Josh, it looks like his strategy is to cover up and then explode out of the covered up position instead of using the footwork like you were talking about. You think that's the right strategy?
It doesn't
here?
seem to be working for him right now.
Oh, he caught him there.
But I think as the fight goes on, you're going to see Trigg try and put more pressure on him and get to the clinch, and then that's possibly where he's looking to hit the uppercut.
Yeah.
Round 2 winding down, another round that Frank Trigg has been able to dictate as Vitale has landed a couple of his best punches in the final 30 seconds of that round.
Some fighters choose to fight consistently like that. It's better for them to train, better for their conditioning. It just makes it easier for them to get motivated to fight.
We'll see if Vitale has a strong finish. He may need it here against Trigg.
Now the footwork's going a little better. But he's covering up again.
There's Trigg. He's able to counter with it.
I think Trigg's looking to make the fight easy.
And there he goes.
There you go.
Trigg taking it down for the first time for Trigg in this fight.
And here's Trigg's pressure. He's in half guard right now, and he's putting a lot of pressure towards the cage there. It's going to be difficult for Nico to get out if he doesn't start moving right away.
Nico needs to put his back against the fence, possibly sit up and scoot, work his way up the fence.
Yeah, this is a good strategy by Trigg here to take him down in this round.
Because it makes Nico use the rest of his energy to get up in the third round.
Yeah, and the judges are going to see him on top right here.
Well, for Vitale, who's had wins over Linland, Okami, he's fought Lawler, he's fought some of the best. This is his 35th fight, but in many ways, Trigg is almost kind of the one delivering a textbook here, isn't he, on how to control a fight, what to do even from his takedown?
I would agree. I mean, he really is just doing whatever he wants right now. He's putting the pressure when he wants. He's kicking back when he wants. He's getting the takedown when he wants. I think Nico here needs to scoot his back against the fence and continue standing. He's already got the underhook. He should be able to stand from here. Slide his back up the fence and stand.
Trigg's pulling his hips back out. They must have heard you. Oh, here he goes, Nico,
There he
back
goes.
up to his feet.
He should have done that, 10 seconds ago. Nice work from the
Decent,
clinch.
yeah, decent knees landing there.
But once again, he just lets Trigg turn to the fence, and it just looks bad to the judges.
You know, Josh, you brought the point up early in this fight, going back to the first round. Vitale still seems almost like the guy who's thinking instead of reacting a whole lot.
Like I said, it's going to cost him the fight, though. You need to be, these are things that you train for. You should feel these moments, and you should just react when it happens. Trigg's obviously a very educated fighter, and he knows how to apply what he wants to do, his game plan. I'm just surprised that Nico didn't come in more prepared.
It looks like Nico's in decent shape. The third round doesn't seem to be a problem here for him, but his strategy is a little off.
But honestly, I wouldn't be tired as well if I had just fought there, just standing there with my hands over my head.
And a good nice. That is the best punch tonight for Vitale.
This is what he should have been doing the whole fight, standing in front of him, getting off, and cutting little angles. See, he's moving his head now, and he's still looks like he's starting to throw.
And honestly, guys, I can't see him winning this fight unless it's a knockout or a submission.
I agree.
See, he's just waiting for Trigg right now to do something. He should be the one throwing punches.
Yeah.
Oh, wicked intentions on the uppercut by Vitale that misses, and Trigg wisely buys a little more time now.
Nico shows, though, that if Trigg doesn't set up his takedowns, he can't get him.
Yeah.
And no matter how good of a wrestler you are, I think nowadays in this sport.
Oh, he's going for the takedown. Oh, this could be trouble for Trigg.
Nico's showing that he's got some good wrestling of his own, and he's a tremendous athlete.
Trigg
like we've been saying.
Oh, good job getting back up to his feet by Trigg.
No one likes to be on their back if you're a wrestler.
Well, Trigg said earlier, he said, I don't want to be on my back with Nico. I can't let him put me on my back. And he was just there, and he did a good job of getting off.
Very good. Nico needs to be making space off of here, turning the corner, and letting his hands go. He needs to be putting Trigg in the fence, possibly him getting the takedown again.
Yeah, if he wants to win this fight with 1 minute and 15 seconds left, he needs to start working hard.
Yeah.
He needs to create that space.
This has been Frank Trigg's fight. He has controlled the tempo. He has landed more punches, more effective punches even. And right now, Vitale, if he's going to pull this out, does he have a big punch to go here in the final 54 seconds?
There was the big punch, but it hit air. And Trigg's continuing to land little shots, making him cover up.
I'm really surprised we haven't seen Nico kick at all.
Yeah.
Trigg sits really heavy on that lead leg. He could have taken away some of his takedown attempts. He could have also opened up his hands a lot more as a nice body shot there.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if he felt that it was too risky for him to kick to get taken down.
Oh, beautiful.
And there it is, Trigg again. That is just perfect. A very smart fight.
Very smart. And that probably will secure the win for Trigg here.
Unless he hits a submission.
There is no way Trigg loses this unless Vitale pulls out that magical 20-second
That's what
submission.
everybody said when it was Tito and Machida. In the last 9 seconds, everyone just fell out of their seat.
And I will fall out of mine if that happens. Frank Trigg with a dominant performance over Vitale. And it comes to an end. Unfortunately, some boos here. I hope they appreciate what a tactical fight Frank Trigg fought.
Yeah, he did. Trigg fought a very tactical fight, had a good strategy. Nico's strategy was a little off.
Yep.
Judge Garcia scores the bout 29-28. Judge Van Tine scores the bout 29-28. And Judge Bates scores the bout 30-27. Your winner by unanimous decision from the red corner, Frank Twinkle Toes Trigg.
Well, the 29-28 score is interesting there. 2 judges had Nico winning one of the rounds.
Possibly the round with the takedown. Possibly.
Yeah, I was almost at 30-27 score. I was the one I was agreeing with the most.
Yeah.
Either way, it's Frank Trigg picking up the victory, and he's standing by with Ron.
Thanks, Kenny. Frank Trigg, in our pre-fight interview, you said that you're going to keep this fight standing, keep the pressure on, and you executed that game plan perfectly.
Yeah, the only problem is I still punch like shit.
Now, you landed a few. Were you surprised, though, that Nico didn't try a few more kicks and a few more takedown attempts?
Actually, I really was, but obviously Eric and the rest of his trainers are really smart. They kind of knew what I was going to do. They have a lot of tape on me, and they knew that I was going to if I do a lot of leg kicks, it's better to come back with a straight right hand. That's what Nico was doing. He tried to catch with a couple of times. Thank God I got wise early and didn't get caught too soon.
This was a quick turnaround for you. You just fought about 5 weeks ago in Japan, and now your first time here in Colorado. Did the altitude get to you at all?
It wasn't the altitude, it's the fact that I have a 1-month-old child at home and having to spend all night feeding and helping out with the wife, and it's a whole new set of duties, plus fighting 5 weeks ago, it was really difficult, and obviously it's hard to be in an MMA family because that's what it is. If you have one fighter in your family that fights, you're an MMA family, and it's really hard on my family because I have to worry about my son Stone, then my son Frankie's worrying about how I'm training, and so it ends up being a whole mess every day.
Trust me, I understand, brother. All right, hey, in a recent article, you said that at your age that you got to start thinking about and planning for retirement. You fought twice already this year. What does the future hold for you?
Well, I definitely want to get a couple more fights in. I don't think I'm ready to retire yet, but we're also doing those steps to make those things happen. Shameless plug. Triggonomics, my clothing line, my fashion line is actually for sale over in the back. It's one of my passions is fashion, so I'm trying to get that moving along. And of course, at any time you're sick, I'd love to take over your job too.
I don't get sick, sorry.
Well, I got to be honest with you, that's the Colorado air, because I get sick all the time.
Frank Trigg, congratulations on another big victory.
Thanks, guys. Frankie, I know you're at home watching right now. Go to bed. It's time to go to sleep.
All right, Frank Trigg, your winner.